So here's Aesop's Fables, or here are Aesop's Fables, a lot of them. I'm gonna go over them in order. So this will be video one, and I'll go on. Aesop's Fables are phenomenal for myriad reasons. One is an interesting backstory. He was a slave. I mean, the guy wasn't even supposed to write, wasn't supposed to learn. I mean, he secretly hid these, and they're just brilliant. And it was his way back in like ancient times, ancient Greece, I believe. Um, and just fascinating. Um, and they've been obviously rewritten and sanitized for young learners, just like a lot of other fairy tales, like the Brothers Grimm, etc. Hans Christian Andersen, I believe. Also, there are a lot of folks that wrote the original fairy tales, and they were Germans. And a couple of these guys, I believe, they were just darker, and people were dying. The main characters were dying. I don't know if Hansel and Gretel got their heads eaten off. I don't remember exactly, um, but I do know that they've been sanitized over the years. Well, these are essentially unsanitized, but they're very very short. So they were sort of lengthened um, for younger learners. A lot more filler, just fun build up, and then also a lot of the adult themes I think were sort of backed off a bit, but they're they're very real. I mean, it's great because these fables read a lot like you know um, just life advice, like life guidance. Really really great and really helpful. So on Gutenberg.org, great website, and we're going to read the first one. So the wolf and the lamb. Wolf meeting with a lamb astray from the fold, right? Who ran away from his flock, resolved not to lay violent hands on him, but to find some plea to justify to the lamb the wolf's right to eat him. So uh, he's trying to find some plea. He's trying to justify. The wolf wants to justify to the lamb, like I need to find a reason to eat you. I guess he had a crisis of conscience here. Um, he thus addressed him. So the wolf thus addressed the lamb. Sirrah, last year you grossly insulted me. Indeed, bleated the lamb in a mournful tone of voice. I was not then born. Then said the wolf, you feed in my pasture. No, good sir, replied the lamb. I have not yet tasted grass. So this is a young lamb. Again said the wolf, you drink of my well. No, exclaimed the lamb. I never yet drank water. For as yet my mother's milk is both food and drink to me, a baby lamb. Upon which the wolf seized him and ate him up, saying, well, I won't remain supperless, even though you refute every one of my imputations. Now the context here is clear. Even if you didn't know what imputations meant, you can read the context and you can tell that it basically means um, yeah, his exhortations, basically his challenges to him, his basically addressing to him. We'll look it up. We'll look up exactly what it means. Imputation. The attributing of actions to a source. Often imputation involves actions that are criminal. Imputation takes words or actions and ties them to a person or a cause. Excellent, perfect word choice by Aesop there. An imputation is when you say he did it. Imputations are therefore similar to accusations. So imputation, synonym, probably accusation. And that's just a Google search. If I was young right now and just, you know, learning how to read, or starting to read these books, I might not have a dictionary or a thesaurus. A lot of young learners don't, but I would definitely use Google all the time. At a minimum, I would use Google. I would jump on my ThinkPad or LeapPad. They have a lot of learning tablets even for young learners, and but yeah, I mean, having a children's dictionary is always helpful, but at a minimum, being able to look up online these words when you come across them. But yeah, um, every one of my accusations. Um, so what's the moral of the story here? The moral of the story is the tyrant will always find a pretext for his tyranny. So will always find a reason. He'll always justify to himself, um, that he's sort of the victim, and he has to sort of respond and be tyrannical. So basically, if you're a lamb, don't stray from the fold and go into the clutches of a wolf. You know, yeah. So that's the wolf and the lamb.